Hey guys, I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to use the Sparkle action in Photoshop CC. I am on a Mac. I'm really new to Photoshop. I've only used it for about a month and a half, so if I could do the Sparkle action, so can you. So the first thing we need is to have an image and open up your Photoshop. So I've pretty much picked an image and I went ahead and put it in Photoshop. So the first thing you need to do is come over here to your layers and go to your white background layer, highlight it and delete it. Then we need to turn layer 1, which is the image, into the background picture and lock it. We can't just name it and lock it. We have to do it a specific way. So you need to go up to layer, new, and background from layer. So you might want to write this down. Layer, new, background from layer if you are new to this. That just changed the image to the background and it locked it. This is something that you do need to do for this action to work. The next thing you need to do is see where it says layers here, channels, path, is go to this little arrow, upside down arrow with the lines, click on that, go to panel options, and make sure that this bottom box is checked here that says add copy to copy layers and groups. If it's not checked, check it. If it's checked, you're good to go. Press OK. The next thing to do is to go to image and mode. You need to make sure that your RGB color is checked and your 8 bits channel is checked. If that's checked, you're good to go. If not, just check it. And you're basically, your format is ready for the actions. So the next step is to create the layer for painting, and whatever you paint will turn into the sparkles. So how to do this is all you need to do is go to layers, new, layer. So layer, new, layer. Once you get there, type in all lowercase brush. Please make sure it's lowercase or the action will not work. Press OK. So now we have our layer here that we can just start painting on. I like to use cohesive colors, so I take the eyedropper. And before I get into this, one thing is, I'm not going to show you a shortcut, but you do need to check your brush. So you need to go into brushes or your brush presets or just your brushes. Hold on here, I don't know why. Go to brush, and you want to make sure that your brush that you have is a soft brush. The reason why it's not working is because I'm not on brushes. So go to window, brush, and make sure that it's on this soft brush right here. This is soft brush number 30. It looks kind of opaque. That way you can tell that it's a soft brush when it's somewhat opaque like that. So then I take my eyedropper to pick similar colors because I like to be cohesive with the image. Here is the color from the picture. I go to a much brighter color. You always want to use brighter colors when it comes to the sparkle action. So I'm going to click my paintbrush, and you want to use a larger stroke for your brush, so you want to bracket your brush up. If you use a small brush stroke, you're not going to see the sparkles very well. So I'm just going to start highlighting or brushing the areas that I want to have these sparkle effects. And I'm not going to go too crazy with this because we don't need to make this video too long. And then I'm going to pick another color, purple. I really like the purple, so I'm going to grab it from her dress. I'm going to go to the brighter color, of course. Go back to my brush. I've used the purple before, and I really like it in this picture. So I'm using a lot of purple here. I might be overdoing it a little bit, but that is okay. Just going to show you the effects here. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and activate my action. So you just go to Window, and you go to Actions. You can see I've already had actions loaded, but you need to reload it every time. So go ahead and go over to the little upside down triangle on the lines and go to Load Actions. I have my action on my flash drive, my Sparkle action. So hit Get to your action, hit OK. And then it's highlight your action as highlighted right here that you just chose. Here's the open folder. Go right below it where it says Sparkle and press play. This usually takes no longer than a minute. You can see it processing right up here and over in your layers panel. This should not take very long at all. Almost there. All right, so there is the sparkle action, all done. Just to let you know, all of the sparkles are all individually, each part of them are in folders. We have a red folder, an orange folder, a yellow folder, a green folder, a gray folder, a blue folder, and a purple folder. So what's nice is you can go around and shut these folders on and off, and it will show you which sparkles are in each folder. So you can manipulate your sparkles, which is cool. So I'll shut off the red and I can see what sparkles are in the red folder. And usually I'll go to the main folder, but if you look within the red folder down here, you can shut off individual sparkles that are within the red folder. I don't really like messing with it like that unless there's real specific ones you just want to shut off. I like dealing with the main folder. And then from there, if it's too intense, I will just highlight the entire layer folder and go to opacity and bring that opacity down so it's not so intense. I'm going to take it to the 50, I think. Yeah, the 50s I like there, somewhere in the 50s. So then I'm going to go play. I'm going to go to the orange folder. And I can see that that is responsible for the little sparkles. And I don't want those so bright, so I'm going to highlight that main folder. And I'm going to adjust those to probably the 70s. Yeah, I like that. Not going to mess with them individually down here like this because it's just the main folders I'm working with right now. But you can go and mess with individual sparkles. So now the yellow folder, you can see, is the big sparkles. I like having the big sparkles for some reason at 50%, around 50%. And then what's cool is that when you're on a layer that you know specific sparkles are on, you can just come over here, like if you were to paint, and as long as you're on the layer, you can erase the sparkles on that layer. I don't want anything on her clothing. Maybe I erase this one up here. Okay. And then it kind of makes it like a mask right here, like you've painted in black. And you can do that to each layer. You can go in and erase sparkles by painting over it with black. You see the black is automatically selected. So now I'm going to go play with green. Green is responsible for those. And I'm immediately going to click in here and start erasing the ones that are on her clothing because I don't want that one there. Or in her hair. Try to get them out of her hair. Maybe erase that one. Go play with my gray folder, turn that on and off. I can see those are the little ones. Let's start erasing. Oh, I gotta highlight it. Don't forget to highlight it if you want to erase it. Let's start erasing these. I'm not gonna do this perfectly this time, but you can see that you have control over erasing specific sparkles. So now I'm gonna play with my blue, turn that on and off, and you can see that this really changes the intensity. So I'm going to highlight it and change my opacity on this for sure. Probably to about 70. Yeah, I like it more in the higher range. About 70. And then I'm going to go to my purple. Turn that on and off. And this is my blur base. That's very intense. So I'm going to, again, click on it, go to my opacity, and change that to probably around 50. Much clearer, much better that way. And then that's it. The only other thing is you can duplicate layers by hitting Command J. Or if you don't want to go into each specific layer to erase stuff, you could just click on the main sparkles layer that doesn't have any colors, and you can go in and erase anything anywhere without actually having to be in that folder. Say like I don't want this one over here. Let me just give you one more example. See this layer, say the green here. Say I wanted to duplicate this. I would click on this specific one and Command J. Once you do that, you're going to intensify those specific sparkles you just duplicated, and you can also move them. Command T, you can move your sparkles around. And these ones I have so opaque, you can't even tell that I'm moving sparkles around. So that was not a good example. Let's see, maybe this one will be a better example. Little sparkles, Command J, Command T. Let's see, we can move them around. Now you can see that they're splattering out and that you've duplicated them and you can move them, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna hit enter. And then again, with this action, you can go back to the beginning and you can redo the action. I guess every time it's random. So every time you do it, even if you do it exactly on how you drew it exactly the way before, every time it's gonna look different. I have not tried that yet. But this is as far as I've gotten. I think this action is pretty cool, pretty simple. If you have any comments, please feel free. If you have any suggestions, since I'm very new to this, I would love to hear any suggestions. So hopefully this has helped you figure out how to do the sparkle action. Thank you.